I don't have an extension mic, so I have to shout to make this video. At the moment at night either, so I don't bring a sleeping bag or blanket. I just use my dry clothes and backpack to cover me. It's really quite okay. And you can get out of your tent very quickly if you have to. Excuse me. I'm going to have something to eat now. This is what I brought with me. Look at that. Tomatoes and grapes. Tomatoes and grapes and water. That's all I need. None of this Bear Grylls stuff. I'm not lost in the jungle. I'm not going to need to eat the little critters to give me that protein. Not necessary. Right.
I'll be getting some sleep soon. Not too soon. Otherwise I'll wake up about 1 o'clock and then just hear the creepy crawlers and never sleep. Yeah, I don't believe that I'm near any tombs. I don't really want to disturb them. I'm a little superstitious. Maybe not, I don't know. But I don't want to break any of the rules. As you know, I'm in China. I'm not in a Western country. And I want to respect their culture and their beliefs and their deceased. I'm holding this camera, let me put it on a stand. Right, what else is there to talk about? About the hiking and everything? Not a great deal to say. Hiking's obviously very, very interesting for me. I'm sure there's a lot of viewers out there that like hiking. And camping, a very, very different style of camping here. And I'm not doing this to show you that, look, I'm a Bear Grylls, because I'm certainly not. I'm not going to eat any wildlife, and I'm not going to eat any insects. I'm not lost, and I'm not pretending to be stuck in the wild for 24 hours, and I don't have a friend who has a helicopter, so I'm going to have to walk out this jungle. So that's that side of it. Oh, hello mate. How do they get in here? Oh my God. That's the Beatles. I won't venture outside the tent during the night if I can help it. I've got no great interest to walk into trees and bang my head or get my eye caught on a branch. No great interest at all. So I'll simply stay in here and get that rag out. The rag that's covered in mosquito repellent. For breakfast, as I said in the previous video, because I'm just doing kind of like 15, 16-minute videos, breaking this down. Yeah, I've still got my tomatoes and some more grapes, and I've got about 2 litres of water left. That's quite a lot of water, but it's also quite heavy to carry. That's the downside. Even if I drink it, it'll still weigh the same, just carrying it inside my body, of course. But it'd be nice, a nice journey down there. My mother keeps telling me that I should tell a story because I've had a reasonably interesting life. I've travelled quite extensively around the world, done a lot of things, seen a lot of things. Didn't make a note of everything, but some. Anyway, I'll tell you a little story about a situation when I was out there in America. I stayed at a place called Prescott in Arizona. I was doing flying lessons. That was brilliant. I loved it. Oh, yeah. A friend of mine was doing flying lessons at the same time in Brighton. I didn't realise that when I got back. He told me, "Wow, look at the size of you, mister. How did you get in here?" Anyway, so the flying lessons were very good. I think it was about $6,800 from start to finish from doing solo flying. And I did a solo from Prescott, Arizona to Phoenix. Anyway, so that was that. A very good time. And I climbed a mountain called, it looked like a thumb. And I thought, hey, that looks like a thumb. And later discovered it's called Thumb Butte. So Anyway, I went up there. My daughters flew out to America when I was out there. Yeah, we had a jolly good time. We drove around in the van, my Dodge Ram 250, all the way down to Vegas. That's where I picked them up from at the airport. I didn't realise I was driving along these, what do you call them, motor highways, and every now and then I would come to these areas where, like a toll, and I didn't know there was a toll, and I would just drive straight through all of them. No one ever stopped me. I guess whoever bought my van when I left America might have had a few tickets to pay. I didn't pay any if I was getting fined. I was a good driver. One chap said to me, because I was also quite an aggressive driver, because English drivers are aggressive. We bib our horns a lot and do a lot of shouting and fist waving. In China, it's a very different kind of driving. It makes you very, very cautious. Yeah, you just drive much slower. You're aware of everything around you. And I was watching this chap play darts, this black guy playing darts. And I was sat just several feet away from him. And as he's throwing the darts, I'm watching where they land. Because in England, we like darts too. And I'm watching where they land in the ball. And then he would go up, get his 3 darts, go back. And after a while, I think he started to get a little bit frustrated. And he said, "Do you have a problem?" And I said, "No. I think I said my shoes were a little tight. That's about the only problem I got." And I undid the laces. That was a bit of sarcasm from me. But I also followed it up by saying, "No, I'm interested in darts." He immediately picked up on my accent and said, "Oh, you're not American?" I said, "No, I'm English." And he said, "Which part of London do you come from?" That made me snigger. And we started playing darts. We had a little conversation. He was similar age to myself. And yeah, we had a jolly good time playing darts. Whilst we were playing darts, 5 young men in their early 20s sat down and started watching us play darts. I'm not a youngster, I'm a man of the world, and I could tell instinctively that they were also, they were not pleasant guys. They looked at me with kind of like wonder. Why are you playing darts with this black guy? Now I am going back to 2004, so this is quite some time ago, 16 years ago. And the chap I was playing darts, wow, there you go, you've got a bigger headache than me. The chap I was playing darts with, he said to him, the same as what he said to me, "Do you have a problem?" And they said yes. They called him a bad word. They called him the N-word. And it kind of like puzzled me, because I wasn't, in the UK we don't have really the racism problems that they have in America. Anyway, with that, they got up and went. Now, they didn't get up and go because I looked physically threatening, not at all, because I'm not. But the confidence of the guy I was with, his name was Tony actually, and the confidence of him and my confidence just made them feel like, well, okay, yeah, there's no point in carrying this on. But it did show me that there is a problem in some parts of America. And I would have hoped by now that those problems have been resolved, but I guess from the Black Lives Matter campaigns and Antifa, maybe they haven't. Okay, so not an exciting story, just a story that happened whilst I was out there in the States. And I've said it before, and I'll repeat it and say it again. America is a fantastic country. You have so much going for yourselves. If you could get your political parties to work a little better together. And anyway, I won't go into politics. I'm out here camping, enjoying myself, me and the mosquitoes. the Chinese mosquitoes. So with that, I'm now going to get my head down. It's almost midnight. Get some sleep. I'm sure I'll be awake in about 4 hours time. And well, get up, have a wash, a bite to eat, and get on my way further up the mountain. It doesn't take days to get up the mountain. That's not the purpose of this trekking. This trekking is really just to show you what mountains are like in China. This is not your family style of camping. I will do that later, another time. This is really one man and his dog and my dog died style of camping. That's what it is, just one man getting out the house whilst this quarantine virus situation is on. And having a jolly good time. I've got no blanket, no sleeping bag, not necessary. It's quite warm. Sleeping bag will just get me sweaty. It's very heavy to carry. I've got a reasonably small backpack, so there's no point in carrying a sleeping bag or a blanket, none whatsoever. I'm not going to freeze in the night. In my backpack I've also got a hammock. Tomorrow night I'm going to hammock in a bamboo jungle. That's about 4 miles away from here. Not that far really. God, I hope I sleep okay. With that, I hope some of you YouTubers out there like what you, the idea of someone camping in China. It doesn't happen. I've not seen any people camping in China on YouTube. Maybe I'm the first. Maybe you find it of interest. And I'll do various kinds of styles of camping. Please subscribe to my channel. I don't expect to live on YouTube, but it is always nice to get a few thumbs up and a few more subscriptions. With that, I shall say good night to everybody, and I will chat to you tomorrow when I start my hiking experience for the second day.
Got the vanity with the bloody mosquitoes and flies. I hope it helps a little. I hope it helps a lot. Right. I'm camping. I much prefer this style of camping than the car loaded up with the cooker and the kids, so the airbeds and the toys, or even if it's you and the wife, still taking the car and the cooker. You do your stick poking in the fire manly thing, and she's impressed. Oh, and then you pull out the beers and anyway, so yeah, there is that style. It's good. I prefer this. I prefer this style with another person, whether it's a guy or a woman. Now that doesn't mean to say I'm that way inclined. I mean, a guy would have his own tent over there. Sorry, you LGBT, whatever it's called, people. Nothing against you. Do what you don't like. Oh, shut up, rambling on. Anyway, so yeah, the snakes. I've seen a few snakes. I'm not a Bear Giles who cuts them up and eats them. Some of you will correct me and say, it's Grills, it's Grills. I know. I'd like, just like to make him sound a little posher than he is. Bear Giles. Giles! Yes, Mummy, come in. A lot of the terrain on the mountains in China, sadly, are also graveyards. Very old, but you see them, the little tombs, and you don't want to disrespect them and sleep there, so you have to move along. Sorry, mate, this one's taken. Yeah, there's a lot, and they go to the top. They're not everywhere. You can find a spot for yourself. But if you're a little bit frightened of spooky wookies, then don't camp on a Chinese mountain. They're around you. I've seen wild dogs. They may be domesticated and been let loose over a period of time. They've learnt to live in the forest, and they survive on the mountain here. And they have visited me frequently, and I'm absolutely petrified when they do. Although I love dogs, they get pretty close. They get about as close as I am to my tent and snarl. And I just hope that... I saw a dog ahead of me. I stood still with his brown fluffy thing. A bit like a Tibetan dog. God, I've been bitten on the ass. Anyway, so I continued walking towards it, picked up a stick and just knocked a few trees, and he stood his ground. As I got closer, another one popped up. I thought, ooh, that's why he's so confident. And when I got closer, there were 5. But I had to go the direction the dogs were. So I went back, round, down and along. And then there was this embankment, and the dogs came along and stood at the top of the embankment, looking down on me, looking up on them, armed with a stick and a stone. Oh, I was lucky that day. God, I'm not lucky today. I'm going to press pause. Subscribe if you like. Thumbs up if you like. Mustn't grumble. I could be anyone. It's me.